Hello, YouTube fans. Here's another Gardening with Vincenzo episode. Thanks for tuning in. And today, what I wanted to talk about is a ham radio, which is also walkie-talkie receiver, FM radio. And it's called a Baofeng UV5RA. And I just received it today. I bought 2 units, and I have one that is charged and I have one that's right in the box. And I wanted to just show you what you get. It's quite a value, and it's pretty professional series, really on the higher end of the inexpensive models. I did a lot of comparison. I've always wanted to do some ham radio. And before I even get started, one word of caution. Before you transmit over the airways using the PTT, that's press to talk, that's on the side of this dual radio, ham radio, the FCC requires that you have a license. On YouTube, there are many videos that talk about this particular brand of ham radio, as well as links to obtain information for the technician license by the FCC so that you can actually operate this without getting fined, without them coming and finding your location. This isn't a toy. This is something that's serious, and it gives you a lot of capabilities that I was unaware of before my purchase, but expanded my repertoire for information by going onto YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube is just great. All right, so here we go. How you doing, YouTube fans? This is the unit that I'm talking about. This is a Baofeng UV5RA, and I'm going to get close there so you can see it. The antenna we're going to screw on. We're going to put the nice belt clip right there. We're going to screw that on by taking out the 2 screws, placing the clip up against the radio, and then using those same screws going back in. There's also a port for the earpiece, which goes right on the side right there. Can hook right up to there. This has a lot of capabilities. Unfortunately, one of the things that I was a little bit disappointed in it, and I'm very impressed with this radio, this ham radio. This is a real deal. Many years ago, I tried to get information and went online finding information on ham radios, and they were quite expensive. This unit comes with the wrist strap, the antenna, the unit, the battery that goes on the back, the charging unit, the earpiece, and the microphone come as an accessory with the manual for less than $30 on Amazon. Actually, I got it from eBay, who was an Amazon vendor. So I'm quite pleased with this. When you plug this in, initially it says plug it in for 5 hours. Mine happened to charge a little quicker than that, and there's a green indicator light which comes on. I don't have it plugged in right now to show you when this is fully charged. And there is a lot of information regarding programming this to what it is that you desire. You can program different channels. This is a 127 channel receiver, and on the side you have your PTT, just push to talk. It feels substantial. This doesn't feel like an inexpensive radio. And you can also dial in your FM, use it as an FM radio. The battery life on it is extensive, and in full use, depending on whether you're transmitting at 1 watt or 5 watts, the battery life can extend out for at least 24 hours. The range on this, I've seen information vary, but about 5 miles. So if you were using this as your home base radio and you had more than one, you could leave one at home, take one with you if you're traveling just out and about, as long as you're not more than 5 miles away. So, I felt that this was a little bit of an investment. I don't, less than $30 with free shipping, I thought was quite a bargain. And it's a simple on and off. You turn it on, and your LED lights up. You want to change the language to English, turning it off, and work your way through the menu. When you hit the menu button, things will come up inside the LED window. You have colors that you can change: purple, blue, red. I'll leave mine probably on blue for everything. And as I said, there's a lot of information on YouTube regarding this, which is apparently becoming a favorite out there for emergency usage, for monitoring, like the state police band or the local EMS or the local sheriff. You need to know the frequency. But again, I'm going to give you the cautionary, which they kind of brush over a little bit on some of the YouTube videos, is in order for you to transmit and use this as a ham radio, you need a ham radio license, which isn't complicated. It's a written test, multiple choice, 35 questions. There's a fair amount of information to be covered, and there are some links on some of these videos that give information. You can download some ebooks. I believe there's some PDFs. There is a website, I think it's RSSL, which has literature. Some of these are free, some of these are at cost. I remember seeing quite a bit of recommendations from folks who are using this type of a device and in ham radio in general. I find this a great value. I bought 2 of them. To have 2 of these for less than $50, I think was phenomenal. The features that are on this are on units that are $100 to $500. So this to me was an absolute bargain, and I just wanted to get a video out there. This was something that I've always been interested in. It expands your capabilities, especially in your immediate environment, for emergency settings. I would recommend that if someone else is like-minded to make this purchase, that they go online and get the information regarding this unit. This is the newer one. This is the UV5RA. Excuse me. And the ones that I was looking at was the UV5R. So this is the newer one. There may even be another one out there, because I heard somebody mention UV5RA Plus, and I didn't get a chance to see that one yet, but I will do my due diligence and find the information. The user's manual, like I said, is good as far as functionality, how to put it together, what the indicator lights look like when you're charging, how to put the belt clip on, how to do the wrist lanyard, and that type of thing. It gives you some precautionaries, but what it doesn't do, which I wish they would have added another section, would be how to program. What are the default settings that are already programmed in here, what you need to do to program. There are accessories that can be purchased separately for programming this internally that hook in right on the side through the, I believe it's called a carry port. I could be wrong on that. That you can connect right to your computer. You can go right on the website, that type of thing. You also can purchase a larger antenna, and you can also purchase a larger battery pack. It's an extended battery. Although 24 hours, I think, is a pretty substantial if you were constantly monitoring and using your ham radio as a transmitter as well as a receiver. I think that's, 24 hours is pretty good before a recharge. Recharge, standard plug, plugs right in. You don't have a lot of reach on it. You're only talking about probably a 36-inch reach on the plug. It just plugs right into the back of the unit. You just take the unit and you slide it to the back till it clicks in place, and then you'll get your indicator light. And the indicator light will be a solid green once it's fully charged. And I know that this one is a solid charge. Couple recommendations so you don't make a mistake. There's a menu option in here for Vox. That's voice activated. It'll transmit. I would turn that off. I believe the default setting is off. And that prevents you from, when you're grabbing and grasping the unit, that you're not transmitting and you're beginning to intrude upon somebody else's transmission out there, and they're saying, hey, do you have a license? They can kind of triangulate you, and you will have some issues. So if you're a serious enthusiast for the ham radio and you want a nice unit without the major expenditure, and you're thinking local rather than international ham radio, I would suggest that this very well may be the one. I did a little bit of comparisons out there, and I found this one to be, in my mind, for what I wish to use it for, as a great value. I hope you do too. Alrighty, this is another Gardening with Vincenzo, another hobby that I want to develop and get into. This is for emergencies. It's for monitoring local police channels, emergency, the fire, EMS, state trooper, that type of thing. So good, solid, a little bit difficult as far as finding the information for programming this. And again, I'm going to repeat this one more time. You do need a license to operate this as a ham radio, and this is a ham radio. All right, good speaking with you out there. I thought I'd share this with you. The package is small. Like I said, I ordered 2 units. I will run this down with a family member so that I have somebody who also can use this as fluently as I can. Don't be afraid to branch out, try new things. I believe that this has multiple uses. Again, for monitoring, in case of an emergency, in case there's some grid failure, EMP type thing, and there is information on how to protect your fragile electronics in the case of an EMP. And I think it's always better to be prepared rather than just think that you don't have to be prepared and therefore you are unprepared. All right, this is Gardening with Vincenzo. Good speaking with you. Thanks for sharing some of your precious time. And be safe out there, America.